Mezentius, helpless, hampered, lumbered off, the bitter lance trailed from his shield. But Lausus rushed from the ranks into the press of weapons, and even as Aeneas raised his right hand and aimed a blow, he slipped beneath the blade, deflected it, delayed him. Lausus's comrades with loud shouts follow him, until his father, beneath the shelter of his son's shield, can retreat. They shower shafts, try to drive back the enemy with lances cast from far. Aeneas, furious, must still take cover, just as at times when storm clouds pound with hailstones, then every ploughman, every farmer flees the fields, and travellers hide in safe retreats along the river banks or else beneath the cleft of some high rock, until the rain is done, and with the sun returned, they can complete their day's work. Even so Aeneas, beneath the shower of shafts on every side, endures the cloud of war, until its thunder is past, and he taunts Lausus, menacing, "Why are you rushing to sure death? Why dare things that are past your strength? Your loyalty has tricked you into recklessness." And yet the youth is wild and will not stop. At this, harsh anger rises in the Dardan chief. The fates draw the last thread of Lausus's life. Right through the belly of the youth, Aeneas now plunges his tough sword, until it hides, hilt high. The blade passed through the shield too thin for one who was so threatening, and through the tunic Lausus's mother spun for him of supple gold. His chest was filled with blood. Across the air his melancholy life passed on into the shades and left his body. But when he saw the look and face of dying Lausus, he was mysteriously pale. Anchises' son sighed heavily with pity and stretched out his right hand. The image of his love for his own father touched his mind. Poor boy, for such an act, what can the pious Aeneas give to match so bright a nature? Keep as your own the arms that made you glad, and to the shades and ashes of your parents I give you back, if shades still care for that. But luckless, you can be consoled by this, you fall beneath the hand of great Aeneas. He even calls the hesitating comrades of Lausus, and he lifts the body off the ground, where blood defiled the handsome hair. Meanwhile, along the Tiber's banks, Mezentius had staunched his wounds with water, while he rested, his body propped against a tree. Nearby, his brazen helmet dangles from the branches, his heavy armor lies along the grass. His chosen youths surround him. Sick and panting, he eases back his neck. His flowing beard spreads out across his chest. He often asks for Lausus, sending messengers again to fetch him, bring him the commands of his sad father. But the tearful comrades of Lausus then were carrying him, lifeless, upon his shield, a giant corpse undone by giant wounds. And yet Mezentius' mind, foreknowing, recognized their moans from far. He fouls his white hair with the filth of dust and stretches both his hands to heaven. Then, as he clings to the corpse, cries out, "My son, was I held fast by such delight in life that I let my own seed, instead of me, give way before an enemy's right hand? Am I, a father, saved by these your wounds? Do I live by your death? For now at last I understand the misery of exile, and now at last my wound is driven deep. More, I myself have stained your name, my son, with sins. For I was banished, hated, from the throne and royal power of my fathers. I owed my homeland and my angry people their right revenge. I should have given up this guilty life to death from every side. But I still live, have still not left the light of day, the land of men. But I shall leave them. With this he rises on his crippled thigh, and though that deep wound slows his force, Mezentius, unshaken, asks them to lead out his horse. This was his pride and comfort. From all wars it carried him away, victorious. He turns to that sad beast. These are his words. Rebus, we have lived long, if anything that mortals have is long. This day you will return a victor, with Aeneas' head and bloody spoils, and take revenge with me for Lausus' sufferings. Or if no power will let us take that way, then you will fall together with me. I do not believe that you, brave beast, would ever stand a stranger's commands, or take a Trojan as your master. This said, he mounted Rebus, and he settled his limbs in that familiar saddle, loaded each hand with a sharp javelin. His head was gleaming with his brazen helmet, and was shaggy with a horsehair crest. And thus he made his swift way back into the battle. In that one heart there burn at once Mezentius' tremendous shame, and madness mixed with sorrow. And now he called 3 times upon Aeneas with his great voice. Aeneas recognizes the challenge, and he prays with joy. So may the Father of the gods allow it, so may high Apollo, you be first to strike. This said, the Trojan moves against Mezentius with lance and menace. But Mezentius answers, You, savage one, why try to frighten me now that my son is torn away? That was the only way to ruin me. For I do not fear death or care for any god. Enough. I come to die, but first I bring these gifts to you. He spoke, then cast a shaft, and then another, and another, wheeling around the battlefield in a great ring. Aeneas' golden shield deflects them all. 3 times Mezentius, riding to his left, has hurled his javelins, circling around Aeneas, who stands in readiness. 3 times the Trojan hero has turned with him. Upon his shield of bronze he bears a giant grove of shafts. Then, tired of long delays, and tired of tearing the javelins from his shield, and very pressed by such unequal contest, now at last Aeneas, having thought of many ways, breaks out. He springs and hurls his spear between the hollow temples of the warrior horse. The beast rears bolt upright. He flails the air with his forehoofs, then topples down upon the fallen rider and entangles him, then crumples forward, shoulder out of joint. The Trojans and the Latins with their shout set fire to the skies. Aeneas rushes, draws out his sword, and cries this over him. Where now is brave Mezentius, and where is his ruthless force of mind? The Tuscan drank the air and watched the sky and came to life and then replied, My bitter enemy, why do you taunt and threaten me? There is no crime in killing me. I did not come to war with any thought of quarter, nor did Lausus ever draw such terms with you. I ask you only this, if any grace is given to the vanquished, let my body be laid in earth. I know my people's harsh hatred that hems me in. I beg of you to save me from their fury. Let me be companion to my son within the tomb. So says Mezentius. Then, with full awareness, he gives his throat up to the sword and pours his life in waves of blood across his armor.